Hey guys, it's Nurmeet. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Red Luna Journal. Sorry for the delay in uploading videos. Midterm season is crack-a-lackin' in college and it's so freaking busy, so I apologize for that. But this video is actually on the topic of college. And so first of all, I wanted to mention that I am a content marketing and social media intern for this company called College Find Me. So I wanted to kind of talk to you guys about this company just because it's something I wish I had as a resource when I was in high school. So yeah, I'll just kind of tell you guys what I do for them and what kind of content you guys can really see from them. So I'm actually going to be a video creator for their company, and they have like a team of video creators that they've hired as interns for this school year, I believe. And they have a YouTube channel, obviously, where you can watch the videos. They have a website where you can read like blogs and articles. It's also an app that's available on the Apple Store as well as the Google Play Store. I'll link everything down below because that's a lot to remember, so make sure you go ahead and check out the description box for all of their links to their apps and all that kind of stuff. So basically what you do is you create a profile, and with that you're able to like build points and get cool prizes at the end of it too. So it's kind of a little incentive, and they host a lot of scholarships. For example, there is a 1,000 no essay giveaway going on, and so that's an opportunity to earn some really good money to actually go towards your college education. So if you guys want to participate in that, go ahead and download their app or follow them on Instagram for more information. The brand and the company as a whole, their main goal is to actually just educate and help out students who don't know much about college, because that's honestly just the case. They help you organize your college portfolio and make you stand out compared to other students, and they also guide you on your educational passions, which is probably the most important thing. I remember being in high school, it's so confusing. You really feel like you're lost in a huge giant sea, so it's nice to have that resource to be able to kind of rely on and also trust as well in terms of the information that they're giving you. And then another addition of the app is that you can actually personalize it based on like colleges you're interested in and career roadmaps and stuff like that. So that's something that's kind of, it puts your own unique taste, and you can kind of just see the stuff that you're interested in. I was actually not a first generation college student, but a first generation American college student. I don't know if that's the thing. Basically, both of my parents have done undergraduate and graduate degrees, but in India, and I am the older one out of me and my brother. So I was a first generation American college student. It was really stressful because you never know if you're like making the right choice in terms of, you know, majors and then like minors and concentrations and all that stuff. Like, it's a lot of information to process, and my high school and college advisors weren't always really in tune to helping me out with my educational passions and goals, which is something that you really need when you're going through that application process, as well as just being in college and changing your mind, because you need someone who's focused on helping you specifically as a person and as a student. For example, for me, a big goal of mine in college was to possibly graduate early and then also be taking as many classes as I can at one time. But in college, not many advisors are not specifically encouraging towards graduating early or, you know, taking more courses, because they end up getting less money. Like, the school in general gets less money if you graduate early and you're not staying there and paying rent fees and all that stuff for an extra year. And so throughout my college years, I've learned specific hacks that have literally saved my butt, in lack of better words. And I know that a lot of my friends too that I talk to like don't even know of those hacks, just because they haven't gone digging in the right places, because this stuff is not available like on a bulletin board. It's just not information that's like given out, which is so sad, because it honestly makes life a little bit easier in college, and it's like less expensive too, and that's a big deal for a lot of college students. So now moving on to the actual topic of this video, which is things that no one tells you before going to college, and specifically things that save so much time and much needed money. So let's get on with those tips that I have. Choosing your major is not a huge life decision. I know this is easier said than done, but I remember when I was in high school, I was putting a crazy amount of pressure on myself, you know, trying to decide what major should I apply as, because I thought that was gonna be it for the rest of my life, which it's not. If you really have a goal of like graduating on time and still changing your major, you can do it. I changed my major at the end of my first year and here I am. So you can definitely do it. The second point I wanted to add on that is that both of my internships that I've had, I've met like company executives that are like in finance and they majored in psychology in college, which is completely unrelated. So as you guys can tell, what you guys are going to end up doing in your job is going to be stuff that you're good at, stuff that you've learned as a soft skill perhaps, and stuff that you genuinely enjoy. I am a computer information systems major in the College of Business. Most people in that major take the cybersecurity pathway. I am the only one I know of, at least, that is taking a product marketing management path in CIS. So there's so many different things you can do, and you can do stuff that's not even related to your major. So I think if you really don't want to do the switch and change your major, especially if it's like kind of in the same thing and somewhat close to what you're currently doing, like don't worry about it being like that for the rest of your life or like establishing all of your careers, because that's definitely not true. You can always switch as long as you're good in what you do and you prove yourself to the employer, you'll be fine. The second thing that I've learned, which kind of goes hand in hand with the first tip that I mentioned, is that there are so many different choices and all of that stuff in your allotted major. I know in India, for my parents at least, it was like STEM, you know, it's like law, medicine, engineering, computers. Like there's really no in between, or business, commerce, whatever. Like there's no differences in between the little sections of like CIS versus CS versus MIS and all this other stuff, and so it gets to be really confusing. And an example of that would be at Cal Poly Pomona, my college, we have an entrepreneurial major, which is quite ironic. It doesn't really make sense, but hey, we have that. So there's literally a major for everything now. So for example, for my major, I learned when I came to college that CS is not the only like tech or computer related pathway that you can take for a major. You can also take stuff like computer information systems, management information systems, technology operations and management. There's literally so many majors possible. Also, the other thing is, for me, I was really introverted in high school, which I've mentioned so many times. And so the thing that I just automatically thought is that business is not an option, because if you're introverted, you gotta talk to people and you can't be shy and do that when you're in business. But you don't have to be like some extroverted, outgoing maniac if you're gonna be doing business, and you're not always going to be doing like client-facing sales stuff. So that's like a misconception that I had for the longest time. For the major I'm taking right now, there's 3 concentrations or tracks that we have. We have cybersecurity, app development, and then we have business intelligence, data analytics. So I'm taking the BI track, and it's not even just a minor, it's a concentration. So just know that like there's so many little things like that have developed nowadays where you can kind of choose your option within your major for a pathway where you can, you know, select those specific electives for the end of your college career. So it's really not like set in stone kind of a thing, but you do have kind of options on like which area you'd like to dabble in more than the others. My third tip is taking community college classes, and in that tip I specifically mean for general education classes. So this is different for every college, so make sure you go to like your advisor and talk to them and find out all that information before, because it's not like the same in the entire US. But I'm allowed to take general ed classes at community college and transfer them over to my Cal Poly transcript. So the way it works for our college is, first of all, when you transfer the grades over, your GPA doesn't change, like it doesn't get affected. And then second of all, the transfer that you make, like it has to be with classes that are only your general education, like your 100, 101 classes, not any support classes, not any core courses. So that's kind of how it works for our school. So once again, I figured this out kind of before my first year ended. I think I figured it out from like a friend or something that told me. The reason why this really saved my butt during college is because, one, it's cheaper. Each class at Cal Poly out here is about $500 to $600 per semester, and we're at a state college, so I'm sure it's even more in other colleges. And at my local community college, it was only $130 per class. In my experience, I found that it's easier. It's just a better experience for me. If it's online, it's in person, whatever, it's way cheaper, and it's an easier and more enjoyable class too. Like, I might as well just take that option and then transfer my grade to my Cal Poly transcript, and then you kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So I used to take those classes during my semesters at Cal Poly. So like, for example, I was taking 4 classes at Cal Poly, and then I would take like 1 or 2 online community college classes, or during the summer I would take like 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 classes. So that's kind of how I stacked it, just because I like to challenge myself and roll in that much course load so that I can get out of here as early as I can, just because that's a goal of mine. Not in a bad way, but I just want to be out and working as soon as I can. It's just a passion of mine to be working because I actually really enjoy it. So yeah, my last and final tip is don't believe everything you hear. It's a very small environment and a lot of people have opinions and biases. One thing that I heard a lot was that Cal Poly Pomona is like less better than Cal Poly SLO San Luis Obispo, which is so not true. And that was actually like something I really believed in, and I don't even know why, to be honest. They're 2 different colleges and they are good in their respective areas, and Cal Poly Pomona is actually rising up in the college ranks now, and if I'm not mistaken, it might have already bypassed SLO. Don't count me on that, but it's really relative to your own experience. And like everyone overuses the phrase, college is what you make out of it. Another misconception that we had in our school, which was huge, was that community college is for people who are dumb and people who just like don't want to do college, which is so not true. Once again, like after coming to Cal Poly out here, the crowd is much more diverse and it's a way bigger environment. So many people have transferred from community college. Like, it's such a common thing out here, and I've taken community college classes. Don't believe in everything you hear. Research it, talk to family, talk to friends. Just try not to go too much on your friends' experiences, because I think a lot of times, at least my friends, like they're like, oh yeah, my brother went here, and like blah, blah, blah. Like they would like hear and like talk about their own things and like adopt it to be their own belief. So just kind of make sure to follow the rule where you go in through one ear, out the other, because that's really important. Like, chances are it's not going to apply to you completely. One other thing that I heard when I came to college and when I actually switched my major from CS to CIS was that most people who do that switch it because it's easier, which once again is false. 2 completely different things. Yes, they're in the same field of technology and computers, but one is in the College of Science, one is in the College of Business. I honestly don't believe that like one major is easier than the other or anything like that. So yeah, just make sure to keep that in mind. And yeah, that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I tried to kind of give you guys the most important information that's helped me out so much during my college years. Again, like I said, I do have more topics and like more advice and all that stuff to give, and a lot of it deals with just like my experience in college socially, as well as being like president of a club and commuting, as well as living on campus, as well as changing your major, as well as graduating early and taking internships and all of that kind of stuff, and working on campus and working off campus as well. I've literally done all of those things. If you guys have any questions about that, just let me know what you guys want me to talk about, and I'll try to like group them into like specific topics of videos, because otherwise it would take way too long. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.
Before you came round, my heart would never beat much faster. Before you came round, I was ready to slow down. Before you came round, I was heading for a